nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning. Welcome to this November 18th Board of Commissioners meeting. First item is public comment. Public comment unrelated to the data center. Anyone here for that? As I expected? No. I'm going to change the agenda up just a little bit for the sake of time, and I'll have Hillary Guffey and Chase Thompson with the Fair Council Financial Report come first. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for letting us go first. It's Grandparents' Day at Clinton Prairie Elementary, so I got to get back quickly. We submitted our general ledger for this year just so that way you guys could look through our financial report. Just some quick points from our treasurer. Our rental income is about the same as it has been in the past. The Fair Carnival, it was down about $7,200, but if you remember the week of the fair, it was very wet, so that is kind of expected. Our events, we broke even on. Repairs were up a little bit because of our two new buildings, so that's to be expected. And then our biggest expense is utilities. So that was at, last year at $48,000, this year it's already at $37,000. So possibly looking at the future, maybe increasing our budget a little bit of what we get from the county, just so that way we're covering those finances.
Okay.
Any questions from you guys?
Gentlemen, have any questions?
No.
Okay.
Very good report.
Nice job.
Thank you.
It's nice to have the fair do so successful, even with the weather that you fight every year.
Every year.
Yeah.
It's either tornadoes or rain. It doesn't matter. Or it's 100 degrees. So,
I like the rain better.
Yes.
It's a good
Yeah,
time to.
much better.
It's actually a really great week for it to rain if you grow crops.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you and my husband are in agreement to that. But the second item that we had is we submitted to you guys to look over for open bids for 4 buildings on the fairgrounds for naming rights. Currently, the CIS Show Arena is up for open bid. Our 2 new structures, we would like to get some naming rights on those. And then what is now the Edward Jones Community 4-H building. Those are all up for new contracts. Those will be open, if you guys approve, for today until February 4th. We will review those at our February 4th meeting. We have the contract in place that was approved by the county. So if you were interested in one of those, you can get those from our Facebook page. You can email us, or at the Purdue Extension office. We have those available too. So just generating some more income, keeping the fairgrounds up, and it takes a lot of money. So we would like some business partnership with that to do so.
Okay. Any questions? gentlemen?
No, not at all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
Anything else?
I think that was it.
It looked like, as I drove in this morning on the new buildings, that we had some winter storage in there.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that's a,
Clinton Hall, the show arena, and then we had some people take advantage of those open-sided buildings just to get things under roof. So we do still have some availability. If people want to do that, they can reach out to the Purdue Extension office to set up a time for one of us to meet them. But it's very reasonably priced, we think, and just generates a little bit more income for the winter where those buildings aren't utilized.
and the last thing I guess I would bring up, because we have a larger crowd, I'm sure we'll have some people watching, but I believe you have a couple open spots on your fair council.
We do,
And
yes.
so always looking for people that are interested in volunteering, and I think that's the key point here is we take advantage of the time that they put into it. And I talk a lot with Hillary and Chase, and I mean, they're out there constantly making that thing move. And without their volunteerism and the board collectively, we would not have that. And so, if you go out there and rather than complain, think about how you can help make it better and help them. And so they're always looking for people. So if someone's interested, please feel free to reach out to them and they can get it to us and we'll get the correct appointment.
Yep,
So,
it's a year-round volunteer position, but obviously the week of the fair and leading up to is where we need a lot of hands. But yeah, we have 2 spots right now open, so if you're interested, let us know.
thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks for
Thank
letting us
you.
go first.
All right, next up, I'll have the LUPAC 09-25-391, which would be ordinance 2025-08. This is the data center, and I'll have Liz Stitzel go first for this. Actually, let's do it two ways. Do you want to do your APC update first, and then we'll transition into the LUPAC portion.
Yeah, I appreciate that. No problem. As far as APC update, you've got one unsafe structure that's up for conversation this morning. And that is the property at 8938 East Hillis Street that due to being compacted in a construction process, ended up losing its septic and has kind of sat there for a while. And if you recall, we've spoken with the gentleman that was the owner several times, and you had given it until this meeting to see if septic had been approved for the property. So the short answer is no, septic has not been approved for the property. However, this property was, it went through the 2024 tax sale, and new owners, Chris Wilkinson, I believe, is the representative who's reached out to us here recently. They just got their tax deed. It's not showing up on Beacon yet, but I did confirm with the auditor's office that the tax deed is, I guess I can't say in the courthouse, but in our possession. And they are the new owners. So I think the previous owner may be here as well. He did not redeem this during the 1-year waiting period. And then I know that the new owners are present, and I think they were hoping perhaps since they just got possession very recently, they'd like an opportunity to try to see if they can deal with the technical challenges of the compaction that's been preventing a septic from being replaced on that small ground, see if they can get something in there. And I guess as staff, well, generally, I like to see things dealt with efficiently because it takes a lot of time and energy to keep going out. When there's a new owner or a new representative, we usually recommend trying to give them a chance to make good on their investment and comply before we continue with enforcement, because obviously they've not had that opportunity and they may have resources or think of a plan that hasn't been tried before. And so I feel like it's usually good to give somebody that opportunity, that chance, since they weren't previously given that, not having ownership. So I think both parties are here if you want to speak to either the previous or the new owner. And then I guess I just need to know if you want to extend this, or if you don't, what your pleasure is in terms of fines or condemnation towards tear down.
New owner?
Here, if you wanna-
Like that?
So my name's Chris Wilkinson. I am the project manager for Home Free Enterprises, Home Free Indiana. They purchase many tax sales every year, and they grow every year too. So I just found out this morning that we did just get the deed. We've been waiting on that to be able to proceed on the project. I have talked to the health department. They sent me soil samples. And then also I've spoken to the contractor that they had on file that was supposed to quote the project. We've been playing phone tag for a little bit. We really want to have the deed in hand before we do anything on the property, just to make sure everything's legal. So now that we do have that, the deed, we can proceed. We'll continue to talk to the septic contractor, and I've got his information if you need it. I've also got the soil sample, and I've also got the scope of work that we're gonna do. So we generally move pretty quickly because the investors want, their investment back. So yeah, I've spoken to the health department. I've spoken to Kat via email to see what we need to do to move forward.
You have a rough time frame?
Yes.
As quickly as possible. The owners are chomping at the bit, so as soon as I get the numbers back from the septic companies, we're ready. The money's there to spend.
Okay. So do you have a recommendation, Liz, in terms of, sorry, it's a little
So there's a
awkward.
little
Yeah, two podiums, but.
So obviously he's got to get that septic permit, and then he'll need to get building permits from us to get that house finished. Just based on what I see, I'm guessing even if they're efficient, it's probably going to be 14 to 30 days to get through permitting, and then however fast he can work. But most aggressive remodel projects take 3 to 5 months, to finish unless they just have a really big crew. So I guess I would recommend maybe giving it a 3-month extension with the intention of if they've pulled their permits and they're under construction, then maybe we could give another 3 months to let them finish up. We should know by then where they're at. They should have already had a framing inspection at that point, by the time they hit 3 months and be into finished work. So maybe that timeline can be narrowed down, but I don't know that I'd go right to 6 months, because if they aren't able to follow through, then that's a long time to have it sit there. Or I think you could do a 2-month too, and you still would expect to see permits and that they were started working on the house, and we could confirm that.
You guys open 3 months?
I'm good for 3 months.
I would think 3 months, and then we can look at it and see where you stand and, go from there. Appreciate you getting working on it.
Absolutely, we hope to be on the market within 3 months.
Yeah.
It's the contractors that we hold us up, we've got them ready to use, so.
I'll make the motion that we allow 3 months.
So that'd be your second meeting in February, right? Did I do the math right?
I don't have the meeting schedule in my calendar just yet.
I
so,
don't either.
I'm just going off of,
The 17th.
okay. Let's go, how about March 3rd?
Okay.
March 3rd.
Because the 17th, middle of the month, that gives it a little more time.
Weird.
We'll go March 3rd.
Need a motion for that?
And then if you come,
Yeah.
Motion made.
All right, motion made.
at
Second.
some point about your process, so we can get on one page of that,
Motion carries 3-0.
After the meeting.
if you don't mind.
We're good.
Okay.
We're good?
You good? Yep.
Thank you.
Our only APC.
That is, everything else is between checks or, I guess I'll give you a quick update on the one that we discussed 2 weeks ago that's out east. I want to say that's on 1300 East. But we have received contact from an attorney who's helping the owners of that property to see if they can get into compliance. So I guess I just wanted to let you know that since as of the last meeting, we hadn't received any confirmation. He's reached out to both Tom and I, and we're working through what they need to do, and I owe them a reply right now. But I wanted to let you know that we do actually have some contact from somebody trying to help them move forward. So hopefully, when we get to that extension point, we'll have some additional news.
And then do we have one more, the gentleman behind you, I believe? Is it-
I think he's the previous owner who lost the previous property in tax sale after the 1-year redemption period.
Okay,
Okay.
all right. I guess I'll give you a minute here.
Thank you. He was wondering if he can have a time limit to go in and get some of his stuff, like the personal items.
Question for the new owner.
Yeah, that's not really our call, so
your call.
that would be, I guess, private conversation with the owner to figure out
A
how
time.
to work all that
It's
out.
not, just only a couple of things personal in the set.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I would suggest maybe outside of this public forum that you two connect and discuss that option.
All right.
Okay?
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, transitioning.
So this is, because I know maybe we're not all paying attention to everything, because this is sometimes not why you're here, but now we'll transition to the LUPAC, which is related to the data center, so.
Yeah, so I guess I need to make an announcement relative to the LUPAC. So I received an email, which would be written notice yesterday from the petitioners, and they are withdrawing the rezoning petition CC 2025-00787, docket number 15-25-RZ, which is the LUPAC currently on the table. And they did also want to be transparent that, because they know that there are people following this process, that they are withdrawing that, and they do intend to file a new application with a different configuration and amount of acreage based on the actual end user that gives them an opportunity to have those conversations. So this particular LUPAC then can no longer be acted on either way. Nothing happens with it. It just goes in our files as something that happened and was discussed and didn't move forward. But I want to make sure people know, and the applicant included in their withdrawal the information that their intention is to refile. So if people are following, and I know there are people that are following this process and are very passionate and interested in it, the next thing that, assuming that this is what occurs, will happen is they'll file that amended application that is complete and specific to the end user who's actually looking at the site in our office, and then it will get re-noticed, so new letters will go out, new signs will be posted, a new notice will go in the Times for a new hearing, and then that will come before the Plan Commission will be the next hearing. Well, that will occur, same process as this went through, just starts over. So I can't do anything until I have a filing. Obviously, I can't force a filing, so if something changes, then that would change, but you can call our office if you want to know if something's filed. You can watch for those notices. And my intention is, since we don't have access to the courtroom now, we'll probably find an alternative location for that evening meeting. And once we know when that is, we'll be able to publish that in the letters that go out. So you can call, we don't mind if you check in. The worst we can tell you is nothing's been filed. So it's no big deal, but I wanted to communicate so people know that if you're following this, the applicant has stated that they do intend to refile. So it's not, I would not say it's the end of a process. It's just a transition, I think, to something that's more complete, that people can actually see what they're thinking, as opposed to something that doesn't match what the end user wants or intends. So questions can be asked relative to actual intention, I think. So I don't know if that helps, if there's anything further you guys need from me, but I think my job was just to announce that withdrawal.
So there's no action that needs to be taken?
There is no
regarding
action that
withdrawal?
can be taken.
Okay.
Yep.
So everyone understand that they've withdrawn that, but they're planning on coming back with a larger application, because the current one was what, 300 acres roughly?
Less, like
Right.
150.
150, so they're coming back for 1,200. So it'll go to the area plan.
It'll be a whole new
Yeah,
application,
whole new
so it'll
application.
start
So
from
that'll be the
scratch.
first step, is at an area plan meeting. They'll have the hearing, or, yeah, it's.
It'll be
hearing.
a public hearing, yep.
Oh.
And then it'll get a new LUPAC.
Yeah.
And be, whether it's a negative, a no recommendation, or a positive recommendation, any recommendation will then get forwarded to the commissioners, and they'll have a new 90-day time clock that'll, same as any other rezoning application, it'll just follow the state law requirements for that process.
Okay, so I know we had a handful of people signed up. Personally, I don't feel that it's very relevant that you come speak today, because this is all gonna happen again, right? This whole process, but we do open it up for public comment, so I will kind of go through it and give you a chance, but I'm gonna probably keep it a little shorter than even last time. Because ultimately, what you're speaking on now, you don't know, because it's got a whole process to go through before it even comes back here, so. First, Richard Hammer. Would you like to go?
So how long do I have?
Give you like 2 minutes.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna, this is all gonna come back around. So at that, I want you to
But the same
participate.
things will apply at that time. So why can't I speak now? So-
I think you're.
Okay, gentlemen, the data center the two of you just visited was not finished. So in truth, you can't speak to the actual impact that an operational facility will have on the community you visited. By way of analogy, it's like you just went to a Mercedes factory to see a car you might buy while it's still on the assembly line. The salesman who took you to the factories made all sorts of wonderful promises about the car's reliability, its great gas mileage, and innovative safety features, and you're seriously considering buying one even though you haven't actually sat behind the wheel, let alone talk to someone who's owned one for a while and can actually confirm the salesman's claims are true. And it was said on Lilo's party line that once this facility is operational, it will make water, right? That's what you said. Not take it. Have you seen actual verifiable data, no pun intended, that this is working in similar facilities around the country? You say the proposed facility will actually give back water, and all that we can say is show us the proof. Because we know for a fact that Google's data center in Council Bluffs, Iowa consumed 1.3 billion gallons of water in 2024. So where exactly are these data centers with recirculating loop cooling systems that actually give back water instead of using it? And addressing the power issue, You said the developer will be building an electrical substation on site, but we all know that a substation doesn't generate electricity. A substation reduces the incoming high voltage to a voltage that can be safely used inside the facility. And even if the company generating that electricity has a separate contract with the data center, does that really guarantee that our residential rates will not increase? Despite reassurances to the contrary, residential customers in Clark County, Illinois, for example, saw a 20.7% increase in their electric bills, and Lafitte, Louisiana experienced a 39% increase after data centers were built in their communities. And there's abundant data online clearly documenting that such increases are more common than not. Regarding the millions of tax revenue you say the county will collect annually, can you state for the record that the proposed data center is not being offered tax incentives of any kind, and that it will pay its full share based on the $50 billion investment in Clinton County? Having done your due diligence, you have to be aware of how exceedingly rare it is for one of these projects to actually move forward without tax incentives. And it's well recognized around the world that the U.S. offers the most lucrative tax incentives for data centers globally. Regarding the 30 or so high-paying jobs for Clinton County residents, have you got it in writing that those jobs like security, maintenance, and janitorial will all be local hires? How confident are you that these jobs will not be going to a large contractor who specializes in furnishing these workers to data centers? A contractor like InVen, Therma, Data Clean LLC, Harvard Maintenance, Team ProSource, Pritchard Industries, and Proto Security. This is a new, fast-growing industry that brings in specially trained workers for these jobs in the highly complex, extremely sensitive data center environment. It'll really be interesting to see how many current county residents actually get to fill those jobs if the data center gets built. And one last issue I've heard no one even mention so far, what about EMFs? The adverse health effects of electromagnetic field emissions are very well documented. And we're already overexposed to cell phones, smart utility meters, smart thermostats, Wi-Fi routers, and cell towers, all of which generate EMFs. I'm sure you'll assure us that the EMFs generated by data centers are nothing to be concerned about because they're mostly non-ionizing radiation as opposed to the more worrisome ionizing radiation. But that's only true as far as brief and frequent exposure is concerned. Much more concerning is prolonged exposure, which is cumulative and virtually ensures that those who work inside the data centers will experience a higher incidence of cancers, autoimmune disorders, sleep disorders, and early onset dementia. So in closing, has the developer even mentioned how this EMF issue will be addressed? Inquiring Clinton County minds really want to know. And I thank you for your attention to these matters.
Thank you, Richard. Hey, and I do want to say, I think I'm glad that you did that and that was very professional. But when this all comes back, come back, because it's going to be as impactful as there. And you asked a question, and this is controversial, right? Like, that's why you all are here. We have a lot of people. And I'll get to allowing more people to speak, but I'll just interject when I think time is necessary, because you asked a couple questions. And for me, I've thought about this a lot, and I've had a lot of conversations. I had 35 calls just yesterday on this topic, talking to people. And it's one of those things that it'll probably end friendships for me personally. I'm sure of that, because I've been pretty open with my stance and challenged people on why they think something different than I do. But your question, and this is one where it'll probably end a friendship, you said abatement, right? Well, I can already tell you in our inner circle that the council president has mentioned abatement. So be prepared that that's coming, right? So I want you to know that. We had our PIP group, and we were told that the plan is to offer an abatement. So just be prepared out there. I gave you 6 minutes, by the way. So that was 2 of Karen's, right? All right. Well, I have a little discretion here. Next is Jody Stewart.
Good morning, council.
Good morning.
I am going to read this into record. Your people have assembled again, and they have signed a judicial notice of the people's supreme authority to regulate commerce for their well-being and for the public good. So notice to agent is notice to principal, and notice to principal is notice to agent. I, Jody Stewart, one of the people as seen in the 50 state constitutions, Republican in form, sui juris, do serve you this notice by necessity that you do provide immediate due care. Please take notice that all trustees and servants in government in handling any of the people's public businesses
Miss,
are obligated to provide the people the process of law that they are due.
can I interrupt you, please?
Sure.
We have heard this before multiple
No,
times.
you have not heard this one, but thank you.
Okay, now wait a second, I'm not finished. Are you a county resident?
I am not. I'm
Do
here
you
speaking.
own property here?
I do not. I'm
It
here
is my opinion
speaking.
that this is a Clinton County problem, and we need to address it with Clinton County people only. So
And I am here reading this notice in for your Clinton County people.
our people will hear all that they need to hear going forward. So at this point, since you're not, I object to having her continue, Mr. President.
Hold on. We'll give her 2 minutes, so I'll let her finish her minute, okay? You have 1 minute to finish. I paused it for you, so we'll let you finish.
Thank you.
I do think Commissioner Weaver has a good point that we have people signing up that don't live in Clinton County. And quite frankly, I know some of you know I can be pretty blunt, I really don't care what you think. If you're not from here and it doesn't affect you, then it's irrelevant. And so, but out of respect, I'm gonna give you your minute, and then you can say that I have good manners and did so, okay?
Thank you. Process of law that are due, which is based upon settled maxims of law. When government trustees and servants are given due notice, they are obligated to provide due care, or else it is a deprivation of the people's rights to receive remedy and redress of grievance and injury. Definitions of Black Law Dictionary, first edition: due, owed, just and proper, regular, lawful, sufficient as in phrases, due care, due process of law, due notice. Due process of law means such an exercise of powers of government as settled in the maxims of law permit and sanction, and under such safeguards for the protection of individual rights as those maxims prescribe. Notice, knowledge, information, the result of observation, information of an act to be done or required or to be done. Due care, just, proper, and sufficient care, the absence of negligence.
Time's up. Thank you.
No.
Do you have time?
What she's reading,
Would you like to continue on?
what she's reading is.
I will let you continue reading.
That's exactly.
Name, please.
Susan
Susan.
Gates, 915 Burlington Avenue.
Okay.
Where we at?
I'm right here.
A principle of law universally admitted as being a correct statement of the law or as agreeable to natural reason. A proposition to be of all men confessed and granted without proof, argument, or discourse. Maximum of law. One lawfully commanding must be obeyed. Maximum of law. Law is a rule of right, and whatever is contrary to the rule of right is an injury. And please take further notice that constitutional rights or common rights cannot be inferred with by government, and that they have their foundation in the common law and fundamental principles preceding the founding of America that were used as the foundation for the constituents. In a constitutional republic, the government has jurisdiction over public uses, including the regulation of commerce, whereas the people have the supreme authority and the process of law that the people are due, is the right to determine what commerce is for the well-being and public good. This authority does not lie with the government. It lies with the body of the people. Constitutional right, a right guaranteed to the citizens by the Constitution and so guaranteed as to prevent legislative interference therein. Black's Law Dictionary, 3rd edition. Indiana Constitution, Article 1, Section 1, we declare that all power is inherent in the people, and that all free governments are, and of right, ought to be founded on their authority and instituted for their peace, safety, and well-being. Indiana Constitution, Article.
Thank you, Susan.
He gave, what's his name, 4 minutes, I think he should allow you to say.
Okay, so
Right? You
That's
gave
2
the first man 4 minutes.
at my discretion,
Okay.
so what I would say is the contrast between this and what Richard did is Richard brought facts to the table and talked about, we've heard this Constitution stuff before. That's not changing anybody's opinion. So if you're gonna handle it like Richard did, that would be my suggestion, because he brought facts and talked from his heart.
It is her right to instruct
So-
her elected officials. It is her constitutional right.
We've heard that. We heard you at our last meeting. You've got your 2 minutes.
Thank you.
Anybody else in the community?
Tammy McDaniel.
I'm not your resident, but consider yourself notified.
Mr. President, I object to this. This has nothing to do with the situation that's
So
at
I
hand.
perhaps could explain this.
No,
Just give her 2 minutes.
we're wasting time of other people.
Well, it's Tammy's 2 minutes. So first, could you tell me where you left off and I could start?
So you got 4 minutes, because you're on
No.
my list, right? Tammy's and yours. So you
Okay,
got
so you
6
started-
minutes.
Okay, so I'm gonna start reading 2 minutes for Tammy and then I can, I
I
guess,
object to going down this road.
Then take it to a vote.
I make the motion that we eliminate the constitutional issues. If you want to talk about the data center, that's one thing.
so this is directly related to the data
Hold on.
center.
Mr. Attorney, does this have any bearing on what we're talking about?
No, in fact, what they handed you has no legal basis whatsoever in Indiana law. It's mumbo jumbo. It's just, it doesn't make any sense.
I agree wholeheartedly, but I do think we have a job to allow the public to comment. And if that's for 2 minutes,
But
whether we agree with the comment or not, they're able to say it, and then we move past it. And so if someone else wants to give them their time, I don't agree with that. I try to make a suggestion not to do that, because it's not gonna be helpful in changing anyone's opinion, but to speak from your heart and truthful, and you have a chance. But if that's how they wanna handle it, they should be given the opportunity to handle it that way. Now, obviously, we disagree,
I
so
can just do
Commissioner
this.
Myers gets to be
You already gave it to
the
me.
change of
Okay, I'll
the
just
vote.
rewrite.
I think that everybody should have the opportunity to speak, and so I won't second
Move
that.
on.
So I wanna make sure, your name too, sir, what's your name? Well, you didn't sign up.
It's right here.
Oh. We need to work on that handwriting. Well, then maybe I need to work on my eyes. I don't know, which one of the two. So Caitlin will have 6 minutes, right? You took Tammy's minutes, Tom's minutes, and then your own
Fine.
minutes.
Okay, sure.
So
Okay.
I'll give you 6.
Okay, so, well, I had something to read into the record, and it is pertinent because it has to do with all commerce in Clinton County, including data centers. And since you said it's going to come back around, and since I think most people here were here to talk about a data center, I'm going to do that. But before I get to that, I just want to make a few remarks. So there was a WTHR news segment, and that it confirmed 2 commissioners traveled, paid by the developer, to the out-of-state facility in New Jersey, and then that was cleared by the attorney as part of doing due diligence. The people are also owed a determination by the county attorney showing in the law where the county commissioners can determine the public good of the people against affidavits given to them by right, and we would like that in writing.
I'm not doing that.
So you're not going to give a written determination to the people?
No.
So the attorney,
But you're one person.
Yeah.
Like you come in and you say, "The people,"
there's multiple people that sign these.
and there's multiple people that disagree too.
Right, so there's,
So what's the answer? The
So-
answer is to vote.
okay, yeah, I agree on the vote thing. So when you're getting sworn statements, affidavits from the people, there's a maxim of law that says that, I'm paraphrasing, only he who is sworn is speaking. I can actually open that up and read that to you. It's, thank you.
When we have conversation, I think we all listen to it better, but when you stand up there and read stuff that we've heard before and that we clearly
And
disagree with.
none
and
is
that our
credit, are
county
you
attorney has
detracting
said-
from my time, like while you talk? Sorry, if I get 6 minutes, can I have my 6 minutes and then, does that make sense? If you talk, then you cut into my 6 minutes.
I see your point.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna talk when I wanna talk.
Yeah.
Okay? So I will give you, I paused your time there. So you still have 4 minutes and 9 seconds, but I'll let you go.
Okay,
And
so I
you need
just,
to feel comfortable because, again, what you're talking about has nothing to do with where we are. You talk about we the people and there's a group of 50. There's how many people in Clinton County? So there are other people that we represent also. So we the people, how would you determine it's your situation versus the other people? So the other people may think that, gee whiz, we have a government that we've continued to work with for years in a situation in Indiana. Why would just a few of you be able to kind of tell us what we need to do or not do?
have those people submitted sworn statements?
If we were addressing it, we could probably get some, and a sworn statement doesn't do us any good. Is it before a court? Has the court given you permission to do those sworn statements? I've got a statement here. It's sworn, but what's it sworn to? And who swore it? Who had the authority to do it? So I understand you want to say this, but this is like the 3rd or 4th time that you've come to a group meeting, and quite honestly, there are other people that want to talk about the situation, not just the same stuff.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to keep going with my time. So I just want to point out then because the attorney cleared your trip to New Jersey, so the attorney is advising the commissioners to go do due diligence for the benefit of a corporation, but the attorney won't give written advice for the due diligence of a constitutional right. So Article 1, Section 31 of Indiana's Constitution, which you guys took an oath to, says that the people have a right to consult for their common good and to instruct their government and to get a redress of grievances. So when we're submitting statements and they're going ignored, you guys are violating our right that you swore to protect. That's what I'm trying to come across as. So since I have, 3 minutes left, I'll just start reading, and this is 19 people signed this under penalty of perjury, and so I'm going to read it as much as I can into the record, but you guys will just get served with it, and that would be enough. Affidavit of the People's Supreme Authority to Regulate Commerce for their well-being and public good. Notice to agent is notice to principal. Notice to principal is notice to agent. Affiant, Caitlin Greeno, one of the people. As seen in the Indiana Constitution, Article 1, Section 1, Republican and form sui juris do serve you, Clinton County Board of Commissioners member Jordan Brewer, Burt Weaver, Kevin Myers, and all other public officers listed on the distribution list below. This affidavit and this court of record to make the following claims that you and your agents may provide immediate due care. Please take notice of the following claims and that this is sent in reference to all economic development and commerce in Clinton County, Indiana, including the petition for a rezone of land for this data center on the agenda at the November 18th, 2025 meeting, which has now been withdrawn. Claim 1, affidavit of exercise of authority not granted to government concerning the use of public money for non-public purposes such as economic development and the trespass of people's rights to receive redress of their grievances was served to various government servants, including the Clinton County Board of Commissioners, in a public meeting on October 7th, 2025. The entire affidavit was also read into the record at the Clinton County Area Plan Commission meeting on September 2nd, 2025. Claim 2, notice and point of clarity, do people have all power was served by email to various government servants, including the Clinton County Council and Clinton County Commissioners beginning August 3rd, 2025, and read into the public record at the Clinton County Area Plan Commission meeting September 2nd, 2025. Claim 3, notice and point of clarity, do you agree with the Supreme Court declaring public money must be used for a public purpose was served by email to various government servants, including the Clinton County Council and Clinton County Commissioners beginning on November 1st, 2025, and read into the public record at the Clinton County Board of Commissioners meeting on November 4th, 2025. Claim 4, notice of people's supreme authority to regulate commerce for their well-being and public good, that's the one that was attempting to be read, was served by email to various government servants, including the Clinton County Council and Clinton County Commissioners beginning on November 12th, 2025. Affiant claims that government only has granted powers over the subject matter in constitutions and that all other powers remain with the people. Government cannot create powers outside of granted powers by people in constitutions, not even through any rulemaking or enacted legislation. Furthermore, people are gifted from God with unlimited, unquestionable, and particular rights which cannot be taken away. The rights to regulate commerce for their well-being and public good and to receive a redress of grievance are reserved and guaranteed common law rights of the people. These rights are secured in the highest law, being all 50 state constitutions and the Constitution of the United States of America. Contracting with entities in commerce by providing... Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and go up and give these to you.
Caleb, before you leave, I'd like to read part here for you on your own form. Please note, final notice, that's what was just given to me, that it is my wish, order, and demand that you provide remedy by immediately ceasing and desist activity related to economical development or commerce involving the use of public money. First of all, neither one of those have happened. We have not used public money for anything, and we are not using public money for the use of commerce at this point in time. So to tell me that I have to cease and desist, I'm curious, did you go to court to get that done? Did I have an opportunity to defend that? But this affidavit says that I have to cease and desist. Now you tell me, how am I going to do that?
If you're not doing it, then you would already have ceased and desist, but this does get, the data centers does, as the first gentleman said, it gets federal dollars and it also gets money from the state as well. And so...
No, both of those are not true at this point.
Actually, so Indiana Code 62.515, that's what the Indiana Economic Development Corporation does. It says in that code that it does give tax incentives and abatements to data centers.
I see no authority that you have to tell me to cease and desist on something that I took an oath to do for this community. So thank you for your time.
Okay, next up is Michael Murphy. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Michael T. Murphy, and I'd like to begin by thanking the Clinton County Commissioners and the officials of Clinton County and the City of Frankfort for giving us the opportunity to exercise our First Amendment rights and to take part in the representative democratic process of being able to voice our opinions. I'd also like to thank everyone here that is here for this and watching for taking an active part in the future of your community. Before I say my short piece, I'd like to give everyone a quick background on myself on this data center. I was in the IT industry for over 25 years at all levels, from basic hardware operator and help desk to regional support manager, overseeing IT support in systems in 3 states and assets of over $250 million. I've worked with information systems in both private and government sector to include medical, hospitality, manufacturing, and military systems. So I can say that I think I have a fairly good idea on concept and technology of data centers and what these things are, good and bad. I will admit right here and now that when this data center was first announced, I stated on social media, hey, it's a great idea. I like the idea of technological process and progress coming to Clinton County. I was wrong. It's rare that you hear people say that nowadays, isn't it? After seeing how the original information was presented at the Iron Block meeting and reading up more and attending the APC meeting and more research, I saw a serious lack of planning, foresight, operational parameter scoping, as well as a communication and information flow that should have been happening but wasn't. I can say that I changed my mind from yes to what y'all said, let's get some more information before we make a decision. I believe this response has been echoed by the APC and by members here. Since then, on social media, because I didn't immediately jump on the no data center bandwagon and explain some...
Anybody have time they want to give him?
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
And explain some of how this stuff works. Some people were honestly just plain wrong about some of what were being said. I was accused of the following. I've been accused of working for or with Doug Swain. I've been accused of being a paid corporate spokesman. I've been accused of being an outsider and not living here. I've been accused of having an outside and or vested interest in the development of this. I've been accused of being a paid shill. Heck, I've even been accused of being one of them. To this day, I don't know who them are. I'd like to know.
Say the same thing.
Yeah. These accusations, I can openly, honestly, and therefore, before everyone here, say without a doubt that these claims against me are 100% false. If anybody has any problems with it, we can bring Mr. Swain in and have him verify. I've never met the guy before the Iron Block meeting. With that being said, I believe Clinton County needs to grow. It does, people. In terms of population, income revenue, job growth, and opportunities. But the current plan, as proposed by the data center, was not the way to do it. And it's not the way to do it. The timetable was too rushed. There are too many unanswered questions. There's too many issues regarding resource allocation, finances, operational issues, constraints, safety, the whole kit and caboodle. At this point, I believe that based on what I've seen here in my industry experience that I've researched, that the data center proposed by Mr. Swain in his current application that's been withdrawn was unrealistic, unfeasible, unmatchable, and ill-planned. I therefore would have asked the county commissioners to vote no on this, and in the future, I'm asking you to vote no on this. At this point, if Mr. Swain, he's going to reconsider. My honest opinion, okay, folks, I've taken a lot of flack on the net. I understand, all right? That's not what this is about. This is about where we're going in the future of our community, all right? For those of y'all who are also worried about Bitcoin mining and everything like that, for those of y'all that don't know, there's actually a crypto mining unit working right here in Frankfurt at this moment. There were 2 years ago, there's one right now, okay?
I'll let you finish.
But,
Finish.
all right, thank you, thank you guys. I greatly appreciate it. Folks, keep the power going.
Thank you. Next is Angel Webb.
Now, if I could, I would like to give my 2 minutes to Caitlin so she can finish what she was saying, just to finish wrapping it up with the data center, if you need it.
Okay. Next is Jeff. Jeff?
Are you going from the bottom?
Well, I'm at the bottom.
Oh, yeah, the bottom.
Yep, I'm just going down the list. You have 2 minutes.
Yeah, I'd like to know how your guys' trip went. Was it interesting and did you learn a lot?
Don't look at me, I didn't go on the trip.
Oh, you too?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
absolutely.
Very informative.
Was it noisy in the facility?
Well, as you know, the inside was not productive.
Yeah, just a computer hum?
The inside was not.
Yeah. How many I wanted to ask you, how many megawatts did the facility use?
Or you're over my head.
How much is this one gonna use?
Again, that's not my field.
Have you talked about a non-disclosure agreement?
Yes.
Have you signed it?
No.
Are you going to sign it?
Don't know.
Don't know? Okay. Do you know how much water they're gonna use now, or
Roughly.
how much is that?
Well, I was told, if I remember right, the initial on-site was going to be the same as 2 Olympic-sized pools of water.
I'm sorry, can you speak a little louder? I can't hear you.
I am telling you that I was told by the owner, who's the president of the company, that to start out, it would take 2 Olympic-sized pools to start. And then from that point, it will be on a recirculating situation. And then from that point, the humidity and the condensation that they collect will go back in either the system or go back into the community.
So this is a closed-loop chemical system?
It will have some
Freeze-type
chemicals. It
material?
will have some chemicals.
It will be. This is a new way they're gonna do it,
100% new.
100% new.
Both the
That's why I
state and
was wondering
federal
what
have
your
said that
intention-
this is one of the most updated environmental complexes to be built. So it's not
Well, you answered
using,
some of my questions. So you don't know how big it is, though, how many megawatts?
that's something, in fact, I wrote some things down. There were 22 people that were on the trip.
That was 5 minutes? Well, the one in Lebanon's 1,500.
I'm sorry,
I'll
what?
give you a few more minutes to finish.
Okay, the one in Lebanon's 1,500, and the power company in Crawfordsville uses 24.1 megawatts. So that shows you, and the steel mill's on that facility also. So 1,500 is a large quantity of electricity. And I think that needs to be addressed before you guys make a decision.
Has been.
You what?
It has been.
How much is it?
Again, I've seen letters from both utility companies where they have more than enough water, and I've seen letters to where IMPA has agreed to completely support and protect those. I've seen letters from Tipmont where they can support us with electricity, and at the same time, so has the utilities of Frankfurt. Now, again, I'm not in that business. That's what I've been told. So, you know, there's a lot of difference between being told and having it in writing yet, which is still in the process, either way we go.
Are you gonna
So,
make that public? Would you find the information out for sure, or?
what's that? I'm not,
Well, about the power and the water, make this in a,
well, I think what you would need to do would be talk to the power company to get those specifics. Again, I can't tell you what those are.
and they're gonna have to upgrade, I'm sure too, aren't they?
I have no
Well, I
idea.
was told that they have to upgrade.
I have no idea.
And we are gonna pay for that, the taxpayer and the ratepayer
I
will
don't
pay for
believe
the
so.
increase.
I do not believe so. But
You don't
again,
think they'll have to pay for it?
I don't think so.
Well, would you be in favor of having these corporations that are putting these data centers in pay for the upkeep and the bringing of the new power online?
Oh, sure they should.
You would do that?
Sure they should.
I think we should do that. Well, I'm sorry I've taken so much time, but thank you.
You'll have more time. Next time it comes around, right?
Are you gonna have another meeting for the public, or is it?
Absolutely.
I mean, it'll have to go through the process, right? So it has to get through
Start
the
all
area
over.
plan, and then it'll come back,
It will be
so.
another public meeting.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
No, thank you, Jeff. We have one last one. I'm gonna say Mrs. Morris, because I can't remember.
That's all right. That's all right. I
And
came
I-
in hot like a bullet and I saw you.
You think
Yeah,
I was
there you
going
go.
on?
Yeah.
And I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know my expletive from a hole in the ground. I got sensitive. I was just so coming in hot. I got a lot of energy. So hopefully my computer won't crap out on me like it did last time. I did articulate my thoughts a lot more clearly this time, so I'm not just yelling words like asbestos, Price is Right.
Bob Barker.
Exactly. I wish we had a spinning wheel, that'd be fun. So I will bring a little bit more of a professional decorum while still making my delivery understandable, relatable, and digestible. Good morning, Commissioners, and thank you for the opportunity to speak. We stand at the start of a major shift. The proposed data center isn't just another development. It is part of a digital transformation that will shape our workforce, our economy, and the future of Clinton County. Moments like this demand foresight. We have all seen what happens when progress outpaces planning. During the Industrial Revolution, muscles were replaced by machines, and many communities were left behind and the wealth concentrated elsewhere. Today, in the digital revolution, AI and automation are replacing cognition itself. We are already seeing wealth concentrate far from the places where these facilities are built, and if we are not intentional, we risk repeating history. That is why I am proposing the Clinton County Wealth Compact. Traditional community benefit agreements rely on job promises, but as automation grows, those promises become less meaningful. The compact offers something stronger: ownership. By granting a minimum 35,000 share equity stake to a county development trust, which is roughly 1 share for every resident within this community, we tie this community to the long-term success of the project. Dividends reach households whether automation rises or falls. In a time of inflation and uncertainty, that kind of stability matters. And let's be clear, this isn't charity, this isn't crumbs, this is negotiation. It ensures the people who live here share directly in the prosperity created here. We also need protection around water, energy, utility costs. Data centers are enormous resources, and without proper oversight, the public can end up holding the bill. I am tying to the compact existing law, classifying or asking to classify the data center as a significant water withdrawal facility, which then requires full DNR reporting and enforces true sustainability standards. No more handshakes, no more hopeful promises, just clear rules, transparency, and accountability that the community can rely on. Because we've all seen big talk come and go, the compact also asks and calls for enforceable safeguards. Public filing of the long-term power agreement that was proposed, independent audits confirming no infrastructure costs are passed to residents, a no adverse impact clause to protect utility rates for citizens, and annual reporting on resource usage. If stable revenue is promised as proposed, it means stable rates. Finally, the compact rewards people who have invested most in this community. A tiered reward structure gives the strongest benefits to long-term residents while still welcoming new homesteaders. The longer you call Clinton County home, the stronger your stake. This isn't a financial model, it is a foundation for resilience. It helps us answer the tough questions. What jobs will remain in an automated economy? How do we prepare our kids for a world where AI outpaces our brightest minds? And how do we make sure development strengthens rather than strains the people who live here? We are not asking for crumbs. We are asking for the whole loaf. The Clinton County Wealth Compact ensures that if innovation arrives in our backyard, our community shares in its success. Commissioners, I urge you to support this compact, open negotiations with the developer and end user, and help shape a future where prosperity, accountability, and long-term community strength move forward together. Thank you.
Thank you. Can you email that?
Yeah. Would you like a PowerPoint or something?
Well,
Yeah, please email that.
I assumed you had it as some type of PDF or Word document of the ideas.
Yes, but then I also have a more professionally polished with PDFs, like Word PowerPoints.
Send it either way.
Hey, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I won't run up some straight and stuff. I'll let you finish your talk. Thank you. Thank you.
That's all our speakers on that? No. I'm gonna close it. Nope, no one more, because I do one more, then it's one more, then it's 7 more, and there we go. we're gonna have this opportunity again, right? There's this whole process coming up, that it's gonna come back.
What was that lady's name? Somebody else asked and.
Oh.
She didn't introduce herself.
I didn't, I apologize.
No, you're
That's
welcome.
all. My name is Venetia. I live in Union Township. My neighbor, this house I bought, is a 95-year-old lifer resident, and I currently live in the house that he built with his hands and raised 6 kids in. And I'm invested in the community, and I want to create conversation about how we stop arguing and how we actually propose solutions. And we think about what we're doing for ourselves, others, and our children and grandchildren. So,
Okay. So very much of those things are what I talked about at the last meeting, right? That we have to take, these things take time, and we're not allowing time to have those negotiations. And one of the things is, I've been open, I'm gonna vote no again, voted no, I was gonna vote no today, but we can't give up the right to rezone this without negotiating everything beforehand. And once you do that, you have no leverage. And that's exactly what you're saying, right? You're offering new ideas of how to negotiate. So what I've been told is we're in a position, I believe we're in a position of leverage. Whether you're for it or against it, just separate those thoughts. But yet then on the same time frame, they tell me it's going so quickly because we're competing against other communities. Well, it really can't be both, right? Like it's one or the other. So last comment I'll make is, I don't know, since probably Friday, collectively, I think most of them had all 3 of us on it. I think we received 57 emails from people. 3 were for it, the other 54 were against it. I would encourage you to continue to reach out, but the more genuine you can be, instead of sending the copy and paste that floats around. I've responded to every one of those emails. If I miss one, I really apologize. It floods the email. But to share your true thoughts, even if it's 1 line, 2 lines, but don't just copy and paste what's floating around on social media and put it in the email, because that is not as impactful. Some of you today shared your story, shared it from your heart. That's impactful. But coming up here and reading this constitutional stuff, that pushes people away, not towards it. So just take that into consideration as this plays out over the next few months. But for today, that's kind of the end of it. And we'll try and I'll make sure it gets put out there on our social media channels. The next time it comes around, they'll advertise for area plan and have public engagement. So.
Can I ask one question?
Well, if I go down this path, it's too much. So if you can ask after, that would be great. Okay.
Mr. President, I'd like to have a moment too.
Go. Yes.
Obviously, I was initially against. In fact, the day before, when I got a phone call from the owner of the company inviting us to get additional information, I all along have said that I want time to do my due diligence and to do my research and do my stuff. I have said that all along. And it just so happens when they invited us to look at a data center that was going to be built, the same type of data center that was going to be built, I took that as I need to do some more research because what I was told is different than what you have been told. When I went out there, I saw a building in construction. The inside was not. And sadly to say, it's a decision that is tough. I think it lays on all 3 of our hearts as to which way we go. So whether it be for or against, at this point in time, I see a lot of positive from it that's not been mentioned. First of all, the amount of money that it is going to generate, because we all talk about how much money. It's estimated to be $15 to $20 million a year that our county will receive just from that one operation. Okay?
Commissioner Weaver?
Yes, sir.
Where's that number come from?
from actually them, and it was also with our president of the council who was there and listened to the same program, and he says the very same thing. I believe he spoke with our accountant, and they have kind of verified that that's pretty close to being accurate now. So if they hit that $50 million project ban, that's exactly what we should reap from that.
Is that with the abatement or without?
At this point, I've not been talking about abatements. I've not said anything about abatements, and I've not heard anything other than a few people talking at this point. They have never asked us. They might have gone to the city and asked for abatements, but they have not once said anything to me about abatements. I have not heard that conversation. And I would be against an abatement at this point in time. Now, just so happens, you know, everybody says, well, what about our water loss? Well, in checking, I find out that it's not a water loss. By technology, they're doing a loop system, and so it's not high usage of water. They also generate their own water, and it comes back, and it makes sense from the heat and the moisture. They collect the condensation that comes on, and they're using that water to regenerate their own water. So they will, in fact, in less than 30 days of operation, start generating their own water. So the fear of, oh, we're going to lose our water is not the case. So obviously Facebook says this is what we're doing, but guess what? That's not the actual facts that I went and talked to the president with, and that's how they said it. Their engineer said the same thing. So that's different than what Facebook's talked about. Number two, they talked about their project as far as the electricity. I now know that all three of the electrical companies have sent confirmation. Not them, the electrical companies have said that they will not be using, it will not affect our residential electricity. Now again, I've got those confirmations from the utility companies. All of this research that we're talking about has to be put in writing, and quite honestly, in negotiations back and forth, we continue to ask all of these things. We continue to ask for it in writing. We want verification. And we're saying it's not that we're going too fast. You know, in a lot of ways we are going fast, because if we want to grow in our community, we need to step up. We can't be like government and take 50 years to do things. Otherwise, another county will simply bypass us. In fact, if you look at Lebanon right now, they're bypassing us left and right. If we want to grow, we want to continue to have the services, we have to do something. Now, the data center may fall apart in the next month or so because of whatever reason it is. But we have to have an attitude of we can't do things. I also found out from going on the trip, we're not only talking about a data center, we're talking about a precast cement business that they're going to build also and make, and that's why they're wanting more ground. They're going to put a cement precast company and build that first. And then that particular company will hold somewhere around 300 employees of people that will be coming from this community. And then they're going to build the data center. So they're going to build a Midwest company and build that up. Well, that's another 250, 300 employees that we're going to have out here in the open public. Now, again, at this point, that is all hot air. It has to be put in writing. We got to figure out what it is. But at the same time, we can't sit back and say, well, we don't want it, because we've got to look at these things. I've been chastised because I do my research. Well, I'm doing what you guys have asked. I've listed all of those things. We have addressed all of those things, and there were 22 people, and on that 22 flight, the majority of the people that went were impressed. Am I not correct on some of those people that are here? Carol, were you not impressed? Yes. Mary, were you not impressed? Do you want us to grow so that we can continue to service our community? Yes. Do I want to be like Lebanon and have a whole bunch of boxes or warehouses that have a whole bunch of building and space, but yet have very little employees from here? No, I don't want a whole bunch of those warehouses going along. This one company taking up 300 acres that we're arguing about can generate enough that we are going to double our ability to fund. It's doubling our budget. So it pays us to at least research and look at it, and yes, we've looked at those answers. We've put down, how many conditions did you put down, Liz, not very long ago? Just ballpark.
I think what I'm working on for proposals for negotiation to try to tighten things up, should the commissioners want to talk about what happens with that land. I think I'm up to 10 or 11 now on a broad range of topics and concerns.
Thank you. So, the questions you're asking, we are too. I've lived in this community for 75 years. We need to continue to grow and so forth. And you're exactly right. We need to dot our I, cross our T. And you're exactly right. On one hand, we need to research and take our time. But the other distance is that this company, along with the possibility of 2 other operations, I can't let go very long. I have to look at and do the best I can to get them. If we don't, they're going to go somewhere else. And I guarantee you, some other company, some other county is going to pick them back up. So, do we sit back on our druffs and say, we don't want anything again? Because what's going to happen is Clinton County is going to become known as a no business. So I hate it because of the people that are going, most of the stuff they're asking we can document and do. I hate it because the 6 or 8 or 10 people that are around there that would be affected, I feel sorry for them. I don't know what to do. It bothers me that somebody that's lived in their home for 70 or 80 years will be affected. I don't know what I would do if I was one of those people. But at this point in time, it's okay to have a no vote or a yes vote, but you got to look at all of it at this point in time. So, and at that point, we're talking about one thing. There are many steps that this place is going to have to go through, and it could hit the wall on any of them. But to sit back and not even look at it and go, I object to. And I object to some of the things that's in Facebook as if we're getting our pockets lined. You know what? I got holes in them. My pockets are empty. So, and I object to the fact that people think that we're stealing money from things. I object to the fact that we're spending county money. Not at one point, 1 penny has been spent. We went on that trip and I had to buy bubble gum out of a machine, so with my own money. So, don't challenge us for something that we're looking into at this point in time. And so at this point in time, I feel very confident with these people. It's worth continuing to go down the road. So, thank you, Mr. President.
Can I ask one follow-up question?
Sure.
How large was the site that you gentlemen visited?
In what respect?
How many acres, or how big was it?
Well, it was more than just the data center because they have a casting plant beside it, right beside it. Their precast company and their data center are relatively close together. And maybe Liz?
Yeah, sorry, just because on the zoning side, so I'm working from memory, so forgive me if I'm off by a few acres, but as I recall, everything combined in those sites was right around 600 acres, give or take. That was all the companies. I think there's 3 or 4 different companies that some you haven't talked about that are on those sites.
That's correct.
As well, so it wasn't just
That's what
those
I
2
sort of
uses,
think
but I
it
think
was.
it was around, give or take, I seem to recollect 600-ish.
And they are talking about, and it's confidential, I can't go into it in detail at all, but they're talking about, and that's why they're wanting additional land, they're talking about a 3rd operation or a 3rd company, or a 3rd manufacturing plant that would be very, very productive for us to have, and in my opinion, would fit into this community 100%. And at this point, because of the technology, because of the high-tech information that's going out, and because it's a very competitive business, they don't want that out. So in respect to their request, I believe that in the near future, they will continue to build on that and come back with another property that would help our community even more with more involvement. Again, it looked good to me, it sounded good to me, and I guarantee you that everybody that was on that plane felt very positive. But we have to be careful, and again, we got to dot our I, cross our T, but that's why they're increasing more land.
Well, I'm gonna echo a lot of that. All I want to say is, I said from the get-go that we needed to find out all the information that we can. I mean, there were people wanting us to pound the table and say no right off the bat before anybody found out anything. So we're not doing our due diligence, and I'm not doing what I was elected to do, is to find out all the information, to find out what's best for Clinton County. And we've got to look ahead at none of us on the council or the commissioners know everything that's going to happen with the SB1 starting in 27. There's 100 school districts in Indiana that are doing referendums or laying off people. One of those is Frankfort next year. So we need to look at everything that we can, and, we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing if we don't do that. Whether you initially against it, or you evolve against it, or you evolve for it, we've got to look at everything and and as Bert said, make sure that we set certain conditions and certain parameters that the company has to meet. So that's really all I got.
Okay. We're gonna move on to the rest of our meeting. You're more than welcome to stay. I like seeing all the faces in the seats versus empty seats, but if you wanna leave.
And what was your first name again?
Yeah, my name is Valentina.
Okay, you should consider running for office.
Veneti. All right, I know we have some people here for the next part, and if you guys want to talk, we're gonna keep it going. We have material bids. Tom, would you like to open the material bids?
Yes. So I want to open these, just announce who they are, that we can take them under advisement. The first one is going to be from, let's see.
If you'd like to have your conversations, could you please ask you to go outside so we can continue the meeting? Thank you.
Okay, this is from, let's see, Logan County, it's from Logan Sports. Let's see here, it is. This may be.
Did they even put their name on it? Or what?
Irving Materials.
Okay.
Sorry. Irving Materials, and they have just a couple different ones here on this one. The material size and limestone, a different type of material. The next one is going to be from is it Heidelberg Materials. Yep, materials and supply list for year 2026. The next one is going to be from U.S. Aggregates. Again, materials and supplies list for the years 2026. This one's going to be Kokomo Gravel Incorporated. They have also provided a list of different materials with amounts. This one is from Central Paving. Again, Central Paving submitted bids for materials, 2026. Reith Riley is going to be the next one. Yep, this is another bid for materials for 2026. The last one's from Milestone. several bids, but again, for materials for 2026. That is the material bids.
Mr. President, I make the motion, we take it under advisement.
Second.
Motion carries 3-0. They'll be up here to review after the meeting, for those that want, and then we'll compile it and make a selection at the next meeting. We have some more bids to open, and that's the snow bids, snow removal bids.
I thought we weren't having snow this year.
All right, the first one, this one did come unsealed, so it is not in an envelope. It is from Exterior View Incorporated. I believe there's 8 different county properties that we have asked for bids. So they have submitted their bid. Each of the properties. This next one is from Russell Trucking and Excavating. Russell has submitted their bids for the properties. And this last bid for snow removal. Smith's Lawn Care. And Smith's Lawn Care, again, has provided 4 copies, but they are for snow removal of those properties as well.
I move we take those under advisement.
And I'll second that.
All right, motion carries 3-0. Same thing, we'll have them on the next meeting, compile them and make a selection. Rick, with the highway update? You awake?
I'm sure he is.
All I have is the bid for the 3 tractors, if the commissioners would be ready to sign it.
The interest rate change, right? The interest rate was the change?
Yeah, it
It went
lowered the
down.
interest rate a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah. So, I think we discussed this in a little bit more length at our previous meeting, about purchasing them versus leasing, and this is the paperwork. And due to some rate cuts at the federal level, it has trickled down to this, so it's actually made it a little less expensive as well. So entertain a motion to move forward with the purchase order for the 3 tractors.
So move.
And based on the information that you put together, Mr. Jordan, that was very helpful in the previous commissioners' meeting, so easier to help us make a decision, and I also will second that motion.
Okay, thank you. Motion carries 3-0.
And that's all I got. Do you need these?
I got it.
You got them?
Yes.
That's all I have.
Okay.
Thank you, Rick.
Move on to old business. We have one item here. It's Cottage Watchman elevator proposal. This is for the cell communication for the elevator here. $1,646.95, correct? Is that what it's? Oh, there's more? Oh, I apologize. Yeah, there's the same one. 3. Okay, Parkview, and they put annex on all 3 of them. That's why.
Yeah, they did.
So they're all the same price. It's 3 to do the cell monitoring of the elevators
Each one.
at the annex, Parkview, and the sheriff's office, Cottage Watchman. So entertain a motion to approve these.
So moved.
I'll second.
Motion carries 3-0. Next up, for new business, we have our commissioner meeting scheduled for 2026, which we already got into one of those days already. So unless you see some suggested changes, is there a motion to approve the 26th meeting schedule?
Yes. Motion approved.
Second.
All right, motion carries 3-0 on it. And there was one other item. It was an ordinance to adopt internal hiring policies. I think they're still working through that, correct? Human Resource Department, still working through there's some modifications, so we will skip over that and bring it back once it's had some modifications to it. So, we'll move on to department heads. How many department heads this morning? Tim?
Just looking for approval to purchase the computer replacements I usually do every year. Kind of waited on this project to get finished before I moved on that to see what money was left in the budget, but I've still got about 60 and was looking to replace a couple laptops for patrol and desktops here. Roughly going to be about 30,000 of what's left.
Okay. Any questions for?
No, I make a motion to approve.
And I'll second.
Motion carries 3-0. These are kind of annual budgeted
Yeah.
upgrades that we have to
Yeah.
cycle through as the longevity of a computer is.
Keep things up to date.
Yeah,
Yep.
so, okay.
Tim, before you leave, I want to throw out a thank you to you for the work that you've done in the annex with the wiring, everything, the computers, getting them set up. I know you put in a lot of extra hours, and it's been a big job. And I think you've done a very nice job, and all of our departments have spoke kudos to you as to, doing a great job for us. So I appreciate your extra effort.
Appreciate that. It was a bit of work to get everybody over here, but we've got a nice building and
Yeah.
just working through the little bugs that we've still got, but
Yeah, doing
I
fine.
appreciate it.
do appreciate that.
Thanks, Tim. Anyone else? Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning. Kylie Mitchell, Recorder. I just wanted to take a moment to thank you all for your hard work, the commissioners especially, on the annex project and planning the move from the courthouse. Especially Jerry. You had a very tough job comparing and scheduling many vendors and all the offices. I also wanted to take a minute to thank Two Men in a Truck for their tremendous work moving all of us. Our office specifically had several large and heavy pieces of equipment, and they moved them very well, along with close to 800 historical books, plus other records. My staff members and I worked really hard to organize and prepare for the move, but we greatly appreciate the help. Between us and the movers, we were able to cut our actual move time in almost half, and I'm happy to report that saved the county almost $4,000 from the original bid. Lastly, I wanted to thank Todd and Randy for their continued efforts. They've done a lot too. And also the team at ACCS. We had more than a few hiccups in our office, and they were great getting us up and running. So I just wanted to thank you guys again for that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Yeah.
Yep.
Thanks. Sorry, I was trying to look at you. I couldn't see you. Just some education updates. So our paramedic program, we have 5 students that passed their final psychomotor and written, and they're in their capstone right now. They will conclude that by December 31st and then be eligible to take their written exam. Of those 5, we look to retain 3 full-time and 1 part-time. We have an EMT class we are planning for start in January. It's 50 classes in person. The plan will be Monday and Thursday, 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. And then our keypad system went out last week for our EMS headquarters, completely non-operational. So we had no access into our building, our storeroom, anything. So we had to have the company come out. It's Watchman Cottage, or Cottage Watchman, excuse me. And we got a quote. Ultimately, it was not able to be salvaged. They had to replace and update the system. So it's $3,890 total. We were able to do some transfers internally, and we'll be able to fund that. But just wanted to give that update.
Okay.
So, okay.
All right. Any
Anything for me?
questions For Steve?
Stefan, thank you, sir.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Thanks. Jaden?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Really quick, I want to echo on what Kylie said, the moving process. The gentlemen that we had that were our dedicated movers from 2 Men in a Truck were amazing. They were very quick, helpful, above and beyond anything we asked for. Todd and Randy were fantastic. They're still fantastic. Anything that we need help with, putting back together, that type of thing. And Jerry's done so much, and I don't think she gets the credit she deserves.
I agree.
So I
Yeah.
appreciate you. very much. Real quick, I have just an amendment to my Beacon Schneider upgrade that we were doing. This is just an addition to that agreement for a jot form license, which allows us to put forms for the public to fill out and them to be automatically updated and go to, whether it be my office, if Britt wants to add some of her forms in. It allows that licensing agreement to be in there, and for forms that are going to be confidential to only be seen by whichever department or office needs to do them, but it'll allow it's just the agreement for the licensing for that program, for the forms to be uploaded, to be able to use on the Beacon website.
Do you mind if we review that and approve it at our next meeting?
Absolutely fine.
Thank you.
Yep. I'll give you,
Good.
I'll email some more
Yeah,
copies,
email,
but-
can you email? I'll take email, cause
Yep.
I'll lose it, paper, email, I'll see it.
Yeah.
Renee coming?
Yep, she's here. She's here.
Just an update. It's hard when I tell the council and then the commissioners and different things, but we did have our multi-hazard mitigation plan, our first meeting on November 5th. It's a great meeting. We had great participation. Approximately 26 people attended, including all 5 towns. The gentleman from the Polis Center, just over and over during the meeting, he just could not get over the participation we had from the city, county, and town. So I'm excited that we're able to move forward with this project and looking forward to getting it completed, but it's like a year process. So we will have one more meeting, and that will be in January. And then the other thing publicly, I also want to thank the guys from the county highway that did the door at our bay out at EMA, that where we're gonna, for the coroner's office. They did an outstanding job. Like, the guys at the county highway are great, and I appreciated the work they did. And obviously, it saved the county quite a bit of money for them being able to do that. So they did a really good job with that.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Renee.
Anyone else? Anyone else? Okay, commissioner reports. Commissioner Weaver.
I have a couple things. One, again, thank you to everybody that's made this possible. You know, we've been down this road, but there was a tremendous amount of work that was done. And Jerry, you know, kudos to you for everything that you did and keeping it straight and afloat and so forth, and keeping us straight. So I appreciate it very much. I have a concern that I really want to throw out to the sheriff's department. I don't see Rich. Did Rich leave? Yeah. Okay. And actually our highway department, I've been told that the Lebanon Lily project has a tremendous amount of gravel that needs to be put down, and I heard like 1,000 trucks need to be taking gravel, and they're coming down County Road by, I think it's 100, that's right beside Clinton Central to 29, but I've seen multi-heavy-duty trucks, many of them going down, and I'm sure that that road is not built for those weight limits. I think it is posted as a weight limit down there, isn't it, Rick?
Yeah, it says no trucks too.
I'm sorry?
It says no trucks too.
Oh, does it? Well, they're using them left and right, and I think that we really need to be careful, otherwise that whole road's gonna fall apart. It's already a difficult road, is it not, Rick?
That road was falling apart on us, and we did some wedging on it and chip sealed it, and it seems to be holding up really well right now. But if there's that many trucks coming down, it'll eventually take a toll on it.
Yeah, so,
I hadn't seen them. I'd been up in that area, but I hadn't seen them, but that doesn't mean that they're not coming.
yeah, they are. I was out just yesterday, and between there and actually Kirkland, I couldn't tell you how many of those heavy-duty trucks were running down the road. So I would like the sheriff's department to obviously keep an eye on that if we can. And obviously, if it's listed for no trucks, then, you know, let's get some revenue off of them. And that's really it.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you had one or two things, so.
I think that was two.
Okay. Commissioner Myers, anything?
I just echo everybody's efforts in this move, and as we work, we slowly evolve, working the bugs out and everything. Everybody's done a great job, and all the office holders and the staffs, and especially Jerry, and who not only has to put up with a lot of phone calls, but she has to put up with the 3 commissioners too. So we just want to thank you for that.
Okay, I have nothing to report this morning, so we'll move on to our board business. We have claims from November 14th, $42,804.18. A bi-weekly from November 18th, $667,771.24. And lastly, on November 18th, a court claim for the amount of $33,462.91. Do I have a motion to approve the claims?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, motion carries 3-0 on those. Next, we have 2 payroll items. The first from October 31st in the amount of $571,844.58. And the next is for $316,200. Do I have a motion to approve the payroll?
Motion to approve payroll.
And second.
Motion carries 3-0. And last, we have our minutes from our previous meeting on November 4th.
Move to approve the minutes.
Second.
Okay, motion carries 3-0 on that. As was mentioned and then forgotten by myself at the previous meeting, we have a scheduled meeting for December 2nd, correct?
Correct.
And I believe we won't have a quorum because of commissioner conference, so we need to move that. Is there a date that week? So it'd probably have to be the 4th, Thursday the 4th, Friday the 5th, which this meeting will just be to move claims and payroll through so we don't have this gap, basically. We will address very little besides that in this meeting, just for the public. So one of those 2 days work, we roughly need to do that week, correct, Ms. Auditor? Yeah. Okay.
I believe we had discussed possibly the 5th.
5th?
Maybe at 10 a.m.
Okay, so
If that works for,
I think I
That's
can
fine
make that
with
work.
me.
So we'll have a change of the regular time, right? So it'll be at 10 a.m. On December 5th, that's a Friday. 10 a.m. December 5th will be our next meeting. Any other business this morning? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
so moved.
Second.
Thank you.